Hi, I'm Dean.
And I'm Abby.
Welcome to
ChatInTheFlat.
a podcast where we talk about... What do we talk about?
Pretty much anything, really.
Let's do this. Hello everybody and welcome back to ChatInTheFlat. I'm Abby.
No, you're not.
And I'm joined by Dean.
You're Abby.
Dean, how's your day going?
I'm Abby. Actually, I'm Abby.
Alright, she's Abby today. We'll let her be Abby today. Anyway, you know who we are. Hopefully you did by now.
That was hilarious.
And we are back today with a couple, four new topics for you. As per usual, we're not going to beat about the bush with much. We're going to jump right into it and crack on because there's going to be enough talking. So, Abby, my lovely, after you, please.
Okay, so today my first topic is, what is your take on being spied on through your devices?
Oh, well, obviously Google and a lot of the big tech companies have been looked upon, frowned at, and been suspected. I'm not sure if there's any real convictions that there are actual indications. If there are, we'll put it up and obviously make sure that it's visible. But no, I don't buy any device to be spied on.
No, but do you believe that we are, like... That we could be?
I believe that whether or not we are or not, I don't have any definitive proof to say that we are.
Well, there was a big thing in the news not long ago about China.
Yeah.
And all their Huawei's and everything, that they actually do use, like, those phones and stuff. I think they said that it came out that they were the Chinese government was spying using those phones that they had made.
Wow, and that would make sense, yeah, because the government's very controlling over there, and Trump, I don't know if that was one of the reasons why he banned Huawei. Huawei. I'm not sure if that's one of the reasons why he banned the company in America, but I know he put a ban on their production and distribution in there, because one of the reasons was maybe would make sense. As if we've got intel inside of the country of people using the phones, then you're going to have intel of the Chinese government, are going to have the people.
Yeah.
And if you've got intel of the people, it's probably more important than having intel of the armies and the nuclear weapons.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really. But the technology's there. That's the scariest thing. To think that we're definitely not, I think would be naive. I think because the technology's like you can pop onto Google, and I don't recommend anyone doing it, but I think there are streaming sites out there which stream people's webcams. So it's hackers who have hacked people's webcams, and they just keep it streaming 24/7. So
That's crazy.
It's like a real life Big Brother. So you can just see into people's living spaces, into the way people live their life, whatever they're doing throughout their daily existence.
Did you ever hear about, because they had those baby monitors where you can like watch your child?
Yeah.
And they actually found out that someone hacked one of those, and some like creepy old guy was like basically watching their kid.
That's creepy as well. Do you know what I mean? The technology's great. But sometimes it not being secure enough is just because you don't want to get all in trouble and have people spying on you. Like the iPhone, for example. Like, I'm a massive Apple fan, and I went from Nokia to Apple. That was my phone usage. Nokia was the old Apple in my eyes, because it was simple to use, friendly user face, and just it's a phone for dummies. No disrespect. I use it.
There was a picture ages ago of the guy who like basically runs Apple, and he's got like a picture taken of him, and in the background he's sellotaped his own webcam camera.
Of course.
So doesn't that tell you something in itself?
Well, that's something that you're kind of taught, because, like I said,
obviously we're nobodies, so like.
But that's him being cautious, because he could end up on one of those sites. He's obviously aware of the sites that could just stream your laptop, isn't he?
But as well, for him, if he's making Apple devices, he should know what the government are able to do. So that's what.
But it's not necessarily always the government. Some dude in a basement who's really fucking smart. Some of the best hackers don't work for the government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the ones who shut down the PlayStation Network in 2014. They didn't work for the government. They were just hackers, and it was a group of hackers who were fantastic at hacking. And
because there was a point where they were literally just hacking everything, weren't they?
Yeah, they went on a big fucking hacking rampage, and you know, people struggled to shut them down.
Yeah.
Like even the counter hackers like Anonymous and that they struggled to Lizard Squad, I think they were called.
Yeah.
I think even the counter hackers like Anonymous, they struggled to. But I think Anonymous got to them in the end. I think it was Anonymous who shut them down. Anonymous, we've all heard of Anonymous, the group, hacking group Anonymous.
Yeah.
They could easily access anything that we're talking about right now. Easy.
Yeah.
I could have some of the, you know, I could have all the McAfees, I could have all the spywares on. If they really put their mind to it and got their act together, they could easily bypass all of my security.
But
Easy.
we're nobody, so they don't want to know what we're doing anyway.
That's what I think. That's what people think. But then I think you add up to 1 million nobodies, you've got 1 million pieces of vital information about 1 million people.
I suppose, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily the fact that we're all individually nobodies, but you accumulate it, you know, nobodies adds up to something.
Yeah.
Well,
5 minutes is up. Well, yep, 5 minutes is up.
So I'm going to go and improve my hacking skills, join the rest of the crew, isn't it? Right, for my subject this week, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, and I'm gonna say, do you think Michael Jackson is a paedophile? Now, not do you think Michael Jackson's weird, and not do you think Michael Jackson's wrong for having children in his bed. Do you actually think he's a paedophile? A child molester, a child abuser?
I haven't watched the movie or the series that's recently come out.
The documentary on ITV. It was an interview with people who were accused, his former people who were victims.
But I did see an interview with one of the boys who was just like, oh no, he was fine, like, but he would like sleep in the same room as us, but you know, I never saw Michael's, but that then just straight up says to me, whoa.
Well, it's always been one of those things. Obviously, like growing up in the 90s, like Michael Jackson was massive in the 80s. He was massive earlier on than that, but the 80s he blew up again.
Yeah.
In the early 90s he was actually humongous, and there was always these stories. And the Macaulay Culkin obviously is the big one, because Macaulay Culkin's always come out and said no, he wasn't, you know.
I think that's the interview I must have seen then.
Yeah, because the guy from Home Alone, he was the one who said, you know, he's not. But the argument to that is...
Oh, I don't know.
Macaulay Culkin had made it in Hollywood, and he was star Home Alone 1, 2, I think 3. I'm not really great with films.
But as well, with all these, like, high status, you know, abuses and everything.
Yeah.
They do find that a lot of the time they promise these people, you know, a lot of the time they're preying on people who want to make it big.
Yeah.
And they're already big, so they take that as an advantage.
Yeah.
And say to him, oh, if you sleep with me, or, you know, don't tell anyone this, and I can get you that part.
Of course.
You know, and there's been cases where women have gone to speak, and, you know, these people have so much money, they just shut up, like, you know.
Bill Cosby was a great example.
Yeah, exactly. Look, if you don't speak, I'll give you $1 million quid. Well, you're going to think to myself, well, I could speak and no one's going to believe me over this, you know, amazing person that everybody loves, or I can just shut my mouth and, you know, build, like...
But from that, the interview that come on ITV television, the one that's recently come with the victims of...
Yeah.
Not the victims, but the children at the time.
Yeah.
Who
I really do want to see it, so I need to. I think it's probably something I'll watch.
Maybe on one of the capture podcasts or whatever. They sort of turned around and it was the parents. Like, you know, it was the parents who got money, and then one of the parents was reluctant to let Michael Jackson actually take one of their children. And then Michael Jackson he sort of supposedly said, "I always get what I want."
Have you seen Kidnapped in Plain Sight?
Yes, I have.
It sounds exactly like that, doesn't it?
The thing with Michael, no, because he didn't really kidnap anyone.
What I'm like trying to say is how he got inside the parents' head.
Yes.
So, you know, getting their trust, giving them money, taking their kids away.
Similar in the way that they're playing it, and that's a really good way of looking at it. But I don't think Michael Jackson was as smart And I
No.
say that as the guy from Kidnapped in Plain Sight, which is a fucking fascinating documentary.
Yeah.
Sick, disgusting,
Hell
weird
of a sick.
documentary.
But
It's
amazing how people's minds can be twisted. Definitely.
Yeah, to think that they were talking to aliens is bananas. I don't think he's a paedophile. I think he's wrong and weird, and there's not a chance in hell I'd leave my son with him. But I'd definitely buy a Thriller again if I lost it. That's what you do, isn't it? I thought that was the rule of the 90s. You don't leave your child with Michael Jackson, but if you lose your Thriller CD, you fucking go and buy another one because it's Thriller, you know, it's fucking Thriller. But
it's just...
I think he was too gentle, too simple. And I mean that in a nice way.
He probably... Yeah.
To hurt them. To do that thing, I think he would know that would be hurting them, but I think he would have cuddled with them.
But at the same time, he was so loved, but at the same time, like, he had a lot of bad press. When people make those accusations against you and it goes public, it's hard not to get bad press, isn't it? And I think he just thought, I don't know, it's hard, isn't it?
I don't think he's a paedophile. I think he's extremely weird, and I think he was psychologically... He felt psychologically the same age as those children. Yeah,
and he probably couldn't connect. He would rather have a load of kids round and have a kids play party than have a load of adults round for...
Sit around, have a chat, have a fucking drink, and play some music,
Because it was probably his more scene.
And quickly on that note, probably because he was raised that way. He was probably raised in adults, around singing, around his dad, forced out of him in the studio, so he never had
that kiddie.
But it doesn't justify any of the weirdness, so I'm not taking away from the fact that he might be weird. But that was a good one, that could have probably gone on all night. So...
Right. I've got one. This is just a general one.
Let's do it. Let's do something a bit...
I always get, why don't you act like a lady?
Why don't you act like a lady?
What is, like...
Oh, these are hard,
because I think, like, back in the day...
Yeah.
Back in the day, like, you had to act like a lady. That was the way it was.
Yes, of course. Yeah, there were expectations.
Nowadays, I think people are more expressive, and like people, like, women go on about manspreading. I'm the worst for manspreading.
Fucking big manspreader.
But I'm like, exactly. You know, I don't sit with my legs, like, you know, crossed and things like that. And yeah, I do chuck out a few swear words at times, and you know, I burp out loud. And
I think that phrase, why don't you act like a lady, comes from that way of acting back when personification of lady was...
Do you still think
being prim and proper? I'm quite...
we're expected to be like that, though.
I can't say what society expects, and I think society's gone a little bit more left in that. No, they don't, but I do. I'm quite sexist in that regards. Like, you know, I think a lady should be a lady. I don't want my... I don't like seeing women stumble out of clubs at 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't like it. I don't think it's classy. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's fighting, getting pissed, and you hear stories about women doing shit that men do.
Yeah.
And alright, we're in a society, but that's fine. Crack on and do it. I'm not one to bitch and moan about it, but then don't expect me to try and spend the rest of my life with you.
Exactly.
Do you know, that's my... You know what I mean? I like my mum... was very ladylike. My nan was
in that
very
sense,
ladylike. So all the ladies in my life have been what would be that.
In that sense, I say yeah, because like there's girls that I know, and they will put up pictures of themselves online, you know, and they're like wearing like lingerie.
Yeah.
And they're taking pictures, and it's like, you know, and their ass is out, or like their nipple is nearly showing. And then they put on their story, why can't I just find myself a really nice man?
I find that more ladylike. Right?
And it's just like...
Obviously, the sexual aspect of me takes over more in this part of it, but I find that more ladylike than a girl putting posters up of her in Doc Martens, baggy jeans, a fucking... denim jacket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the plain white t-shirt. Yeah, I find the underwear more ladylike and you know what I mean?
I think
that scruffy. I don't like it when girls, women dress like scruffy boys. I don't see the point in it.
Yeah.
I don't see the fucking logic in it.
That's me though.
Well, you need to fucking up your wardrobe, don't you?
But I'm like I'm one spectrum to the other.
But then
you see me like what? I'll come in and I'll look like absolute crap, but then next minute I will look like
that's amazing. That is the point of it.
But that's what I do. I don't do in between.
No,
I'm not the type of girl to put on my makeup every day. I would just do it on a special occasion. But when I do, God, don't I go for it?
Exactly. But that is the point of it as well. Like I'm sat here now as your mate, and I've got no expectations of you to be dressed to the hinds and please sir, no sir, 3 bags fucking full sir. I got none of that shit. I'm not expecting any of that. You are what you are, and I accept you for that. But you know, there are certain expectations that I would have when it comes to I prefer stories of women being hungry and successful and going out and getting a job than them stumbling out of clubs with their mates eating a kebab and then starting on a fucking guy in a pub because he said that they were too pissed or something. Starting in the kebab shop and the guy because he said they were too pissed. Yeah. I don't find that attractive. I find the hungry, successful. You know.
I mean,
I want to have a job. I want to have a family. I want to be progressive in life and leave a good stamp for what I've done.
Yeah.
That I think that's more attractive.
Well, I've been told then by like friends that they've gone on nights out and they've stayed sober and they've been like, oh my god, like these young girls are putting themselves in jeopardy. Like they remember she saw this girl and she was like hanging herself in the like sink. Obviously she had just come up or something, and she walks straight out of the women's bathroom into like a load of lads, and she just starts lifting her skirt up. And she's out of her mind, and my friend was there, because she's sober-headed, she was just like, oh my god, this girl's like 18. She obviously doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Anyone could just take her away, and it's
let's face it, it's nothing. That's not on Pornhub. Gonzo, baby.
Right. Always got to take it a step further, haven't you?
Always got to step over that little line. Right, my last subject. I'm going to keep it on a more serious note as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, do you think the Maccanns killed Maddie? This is obviously another subject that's been quite on the beat lately. Have you managed to check out any of the Netflix documentary that's gone up, which is
that again, that's another thing I was going to watch.
You take the time to do that tonight. It's fantastic. I've just got my way through it the last couple of days, and
since you've watched it,
my opinions changed slightly.
Yeah.
I never thought he did it. No. Nah. It's hard to get 7 people, for a start, it's hard to get 7 people in that party, 7 adults, to corroborate the murder or the planned disappearance of a baby girl. It's really hard to get 7, it's really hard. Imagine it, you're sat for dinner with the rest of your family, you're in Marbella, in Portugal, you're wherever you are, and someone comes up and says, look, I've just accidentally overdosed my daughter, we're going to cover it up. What are you going to do? Are you really going to go, yeah, alright, good idea? Or are you going to say, are you sure?
But at the same time, they were, where
it was Portugal. I can't remember exactly where.
See,
I should know because I just watched it.
In some countries, there's so many poor people. You go up to them, you say, look, I'll give you 500 quid, you do this. You don't even have to know them. You go up to them. Like, I could where I lived in Gambia, I could probably pay someone 500 quid to kill you.
On the documentary. Alright, fucking streaming it. She's looking at us as well. She's looking at 500 quid just to kill you.
But like, That's what I mean, like, so if it's like, I don't know, like, if, you know, if someone's that desperate for money, you could probably just shy someone to do it.
But I've never heard that. I've never, like, I don't quite get why. So what's your theory on that? Like
they could have done it to sell her body.
What do you think? Know. What do you actually think from what you know so far?
I don't know, but I've heard you hear stories of people like taking their kids abroad and then chopping them up and selling their body parts on the dark web.
Rare.
It's happened. It's
like
happened.
the guy who investigated
then,
Maccann's, the police officer from Britain who investigated Maccann, all the Portuguese police said dog shit. They class themselves as a third world country compared to England, which I find really surprising. Really surprising, really. If they really look at third world countries and see Portugal, think it really is a third world country. I think it's a bit fucking extreme. But the policing was absolutely dog shit, and the officer who was actually investigating, the first British officer, he worked in the counter-terrorism squad and then moved into investigating children disappearing because it was, you know, something that happened in his career where it led him onto that. And he said that even I don't believe that they've stole this child, murdered their own children, and paid. Like, the theory is that they give them sleeping tablets, sleeping pills and injection to dose them so they could go to the bar so the children would all be asleep. They were checking, so it wasn't just so.
But they found traces of her blood.
They didn't. They found traces of blood.
Oh, of blood. I thought it was.
And they even matched it. They even DNA'd it. But the DNA found in the blood was so thin. It could have been the dad's nan. Right. She wasn't alive anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it could have been someone in the family. That's what it was, but it wasn't necessarily Maddie's DNA. Yeah. They didn't find it to match actually 100. You know, DNA matches on 99.996%.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy like that. It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't found to match Maddie's. It was just DNA from the family, and that was obviously what the papers rolled with. The Maccanns have obviously sued. They sued all the papers and won. Now you don't take papers to court and win unless you're right.
Yeah.
Which indicates to me
that
you know what I mean? That they had nothing to do with it. I genuinely don't believe they had anything to do with her disappearance.
But
which
then
opens then the craziest question.
Yeah. Why?
Where? How? What the fuck has happened to that girl?
Exactly.
It's nuts, isn't it? Like
I honestly, for this long,
to be honest with you, the least crazy
think
theory.
She's alive anymore.
I hope so. There are
I hope so, but honestly, like,
touch wood, there are girls out there who
you
have
hear
been.
so many stories of.
Yeah, you do, but also like there are lots of stories of girls, and it's mainly girls. It's men stealing women. It's a disgusting thing. It's men stealing women. It's not very often you hear of a kidnapped man, not a woman, is it? But you hear of people being away for 18 years, 16 years, 15 years, and they do come back, find their family, and go on to lead normalish lives. So let's pray in our lifetime that girl will be found, or at least we find out what did actually happen to her, because it's crazy.
It's mad, isn't it? I can remember being in Gambia and there being posters up of her in the airport. Like, that's how big it was.
That was another thought to my argument about, you know, why did they do it? It's like, would you still be going on about it? Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you're Kate Maccann and you've accidentally overdosed your child on a sleeping injection so you could go to the bar, and you've fucking buried her body somewhere, or you've chucked it down the well, or you've done something to dispose of it. Yeah. Would you still be banging on about it 10 years later? Would you still be going to the press, going on This Morning 10 years later? It's not like This Morning ringing up the Maccanns going, oh, do you want to come on This Morning? The Maccanns are ringing This Morning and ringing the press and the newspaper saying, don't forget about Maddie. Yeah. All the time you're searching for us to be the murderers, you're not looking for our baby girl. Yeah. Which must be going fucking mental for them. I couldn't imagine it. But yeah, I don't think. But recommended on Netflix. It's just gone up recently. The Disappearance of Maddie Maccann. Well worth a dig. But that wraps up today's 4 topics. Yeah. We blitz through them. It seems like it's gone really quick.
I know.
So yeah, fantastic work from me, Abby.
And me, Dean.
Fantastic. So we shall speak to you all soon.
Take care, guys.
Peace and love. Peace and love.